Namaste, I'm Melissa. Welcome to Yoga for Letting Go. Today I'm here on a dock in one of Michigan's inland lakes, and I'm going to take you through a practice of hip openers to release tension and stuck emotions in the process of letting go. And in the process of letting go, there are 4 steps that I will take you through, and the first one being acceptance. Acceptance of where you are, of a certain situation. Maybe it didn't work out the way you thought it would, and now it's time to release it and step out of denial and into reality of the situation. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to release our expectations of the situation. So maybe it's expectations a person acted a certain way, or a job, or an event, or whatever it is, a relationship, whatever you need to let go. Maybe you thought it was going to go one way and it ended up going the other. So first is to accept the situation as it is. Second is to release our expectations, because really when you think about your expectations that you place on something or someone, it can be selfish in a way. Like, who are we to say it was supposed to turn out a certain way or not? So recognizing that, and then moving into step 3, which is grieving, because we still need to honor our feelings and our expectations and our feelings toward the situation. So, and then step 4, which is probably the hardest and most courageous, is to step into the unknown and to trust the universe or higher power that once you let go, something else that is better for you will be waiting, and it's most of the time not immediate. So that's why I call that the most courageous part, because there's maybe a little bit of a waiting period. There's a definite trust that needs to be established, and today I will walk you through all 4 of those steps during the yoga practice. So if you want to get started on your mat, and today you may need a block. You don't have to have one, but I find that it's helpful. We'll do a lot of forward bends, so I like resting my forehead on the block. So if you grab that, and we'll get started. So I first want to chant Om, which is the sound of all creation, and if you feel the vibration within your body and feel it with the video, or if you're doing this yoga practice with someone, it's really powerful to connect. And so I like to start practice with 3 ohms, and it's pronounced A-U-M, so it's an Aum, and we'll drag it out on the exhale. So if you sit in easy pose and take a deep breath and inhale, and we'll do that 2 more times. Next, we're going to move into Ujjayi breathing. And Ujjayi is a constriction in the back of your throat and sounds like ocean waves, or what I like to call Darth Vader. And you can activate this by breathing out of your mouth and pretending you're fogging up a mirror. So that constriction in the back of your throat is Ujjayi, and we'll be doing that in through the nose and out through the nose though. So we'll do a few rounds of that, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. This is just to become conscious of the breath, focusing on the breathing. And while you keep establishing the Ujjayi breathing, I'd like to read you a poem on letting go called In Blackwater Woods by Mary Oliver. So keeping with your Ujjayi breathing and listening to this poem. Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light, are giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds, and every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this, the fires, and the black river of loss, whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go. To let it go. And that is what today's practice is about. It's about letting go. So when you're ready, and trying to keep with the Ujjayi breathing throughout the practice, it's okay if you lose it, but that will be the goal of the practice, is to focus on the breath and then obviously the movement. So when you're ready, we'll take a few cat-cows, so coming to your hands and knees, and inhaling the head and dropping the belly, and then exhaling the head down, tucking the tailbone. Inhale and exhale, and doing a few rounds on your own. Eventually taking it and moving the cat-cow to your hips. So you can do circles here, you can do half circles and switch, whatever intuitively feels good to you. Awakening the hips today. We'll be doing a lot of hip openers. So just awakening the hips, whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, come to a neutral, still position. I'm going to turn and face. And you'll move into your first down dog of the day. Maybe not the day, but this practice. And feel free to pedal out the feet here. Again, you can do some hip opening here, whatever feels good. Your fingertips should be spread wide to distribute the weight. Head should be hanging between your shoulders. And on an inhale, you're going to bend the knees and look up. And step to the top of your mat and forward fold. And here, I like to call this ragdoll. Grab the elbows and just hang. Let it all go. This pose doesn't require effort. It requires surrender. Release. And just hang here. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the head up and look up. And exhale, hands come through heart center. Inhale the arms up. And with a flat back, forward fold, back down. Inhale, look up halfway with a flat back again. And then exhale, step the feet back into plank pose. And you'll lower down. You can come to your knees and lower down about halfway. And then inhale to up dog or cobra. Legs can stay on the mat or they can lift. Whatever you choose. And then On an exhale, you'll curl the toes under and move back to down dog. On an inhale, bend the knees, and step up to the top of the mat, and forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, look up. Exhale, hands come through heart center, recalling the Ujjayi breathing we established at the beginning of the practice. Inhale, hands come up again. Exhale with a flat back, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, look up halfway. On fingertips, our hands can come to shins. And exhale, chaturanga. Hands come down, feet come back. Knees can drop. And exhale. And inhale, cobra or up dog. And again, your feet and legs can stay on the ground or they can pop up. And exhale, roll through the toes into down dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, step to the top of your mat. Turn back and face here. Step the feet together. Legs come together. And inhale the arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. So you sit back like you're sitting in a chair, activating the legs. Hands come up and root down into your feet. All the weight should not be in your toes. Try to put more weight into your heels and try not to arch the back. Keep a straight spine here and reach the arms forward. And on an exhale, we're going to twist to the right. The left elbow comes to the right outside of the knee. Inhale, center. And exhale, prayer twist to the left. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, fold. Hinging at the hips. Coming down. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, you're going to inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. You can bend at the knee here, open at the hip. And exhale that foot, right foot in between the hands, pivoting the back foot 45 degrees. You should have heel to heel alignment here. But if you can't and need a wider stance, feel free to do so. And have a deep bend in that right leg. Hands come up, tucking the tailbone. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Breathing here. Exhaling the arms down, framing that foot, stepping back into plank. Knees can come down if you'd like. In chaturanga, inhaling to up dog or cobra. And exhaling back to down dog. On an inhale, take that left leg up. You can bend at the knee, opening up at the hip. And exhale that foot in between the hands, pivoting the back foot, and coming up to Virabhadrasana 1 on the left side. And tucking the tailbone, chest opens up, but don't arch the back. Knit the ribs in and Bring in the abs to keep a straight spine. Twisting only at the torso. And exhale, frame the foot. Step it back. Lower down. Inhale up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Recalling the Ujjayi breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling, stepping to the top of the mat. Come up and rise up. And exhale, hands come through heart center. This is where you may need a block, so to get your block ready, you can set it at the top of your mat. And coming to rooted down position, root through all 4 corners of the feet. And we'll move into tree pose. So we're gonna do the left side first. So if you put all the weight into your right leg, and if you pop open your left leg like a gate, and this may be your tree pose, and hands can come to heart center here, or you can raise your branch and move it up to your inner thigh. Just don't place it on your knee, and find balance here. And you'll want to find a drishti or a point of focus, preferably something that's not moving, and just settle into this stretch, opening up the hip here, breathing deep. Feel free to grow your branches if you like, recalling and accepting where we are in any of the situations that may have come up for you today, for yoga, for letting go, taking the time to honor them. Maybe start thinking about the expectations that were set and releasing those. And then exhaling, hands come back to heart center. This left leg is going to step back and be planted on the ground here. And you're going to come into warrior 2. So this is heel to arch alignment. And then, so your front heel is in alignment with your middle arch, and there's a deep bend in the right knee. Hands come out and you look forward through the right fingertips. And tucking the tailbone, settling in here. Inhaling, that right arm comes up while the back drops down the leg, or you can tuck it behind your back. Stretching the side body. And then exhaling, that right elbow down to the thigh, right thigh, and then the left hand comes up. Look up at the sky, reach up and forward. This is where you want to grab your block as we move into half moon. So putting the weight on that right foot, and you may need to hop your left leg up. And coming into half moon, so raising that left back leg and left arm up. You want to flex the back foot, and we don't want to dump our head and our torso down. We want to lift up through. This is why the block comes in handy. And stretch, accepting and thinking about releasing here. And then exhale, come to forward fold. And again, this is where, requiring no effort, just hang and surrender to what is, to what was. And feel free to rock back and forth, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Just let go. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Do the same thing on the other side. So putting the weight into your left foot and propping open your right like a gate. And if this is your tree pose, that is fine. And honor your body, and what you did on the other side may not be what you do on this side. So, and then finding your drishti and coming and settling into tree for a moment. Finding balance here. And again, feel free to grow your branches and breathe. We don't want to dump into our hip like this. We want to keep a straight line and continue to open up the right hip. Breathing deep. And on an exhale, you'll exhale that foot back. Come into Virabhadrasana 2. And a deep bend in that left leg. Heel to arch alignment. Hands come out. Tailbone tucks. And your head looks over your left fingertips. Breathing deep here. Exhaling, lifting that left arm, and again you can put it down your leg or tuck it behind your back. Stretching and looking up. It's available to you. And exhale, forearm comes down, right hand reaches up and over, stretching through the side body. Then grabbing your block again, and scooting that back leg up. You're going to lift up into half moon on the raising the right, flexing the back foot, reaching up, keeping a straight line from head to toe, head to heel, I should say. And if you can, look up to the sky. Stretch. And exhale, forward fold again. Breathing here. When you're ready, stepping back into downward facing dog. Should feel a little bit easier and lighter here. And on an inhale that right leg up. This time we're going to exhale it through the hands and come down on that left leg for a low runner's lunge. Inhaling, the arms come up. And we're going to exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. We don't want to rest the chest on our thigh here. We want to lift up through. Lifting up and twisting at the torso. Recalling everything that we'd like to let go in this moment. And if you can, offering it up back to the universe or your higher power. And really stretching that hip and twisting and wringing out anything that's stuck. Breathing deep here. Then we'll exhale, coming back and frame the foot. And step back into downward facing dog. Just notice how you're feeling. Are you feeling lighter on the right side? On an inhale the left leg up and step it. Exhale it, step it between the hands. Lower the right leg down and coming up here. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, you're going to twist to the left this time. Left elbow comes to the outside, the right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. And again, we don't want to rest here. We want to lift up through the crown of the head, opening up the chest, twisting and wringing out, and then offering up, opening the arms. Releasing our expectations, Releasing any negative feelings and suffering. Breathing deep. Exhale, framing the foot. Stepping back. Downward facing dog. Great job there. That was a major releasing pose into our second step of releasing expectations. So now on an inhale, take the right leg up and we're going to move into pigeon. So your version of pigeon. So bending that right leg, and you can take a block under your right hip. You can come down. What I like to do is I like to bend my back leg and take the block and inhale, arms come up, and exhale, forward fold any amount. Maybe you stay up, maybe this is enough for you. If you can come down, breathe into the right hip. We move into our third step, which is grieving, honoring our expectations and emotions, honoring our bodies. Breathing deep here. The right side body represents masculine energy, so effort and action. And you may notice one side is tighter than the other. Just notice and honor. Don't judge. Let it be as it is. Breathing into the stretch. Deepen the breath. Maybe recall the Ujjayi breathing. And on an inhale, come back up and slowly come back into downward facing dog, but moving slowly here. Gently, be gentle with your body. We only get one. On an inhale, take the left leg up. And we'll do the same thing, but on the left side. Taking your version of pigeon. May look different than what it was on the right. Again, feel free to bend the back leg. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold any amount. My left is usually, almost always tighter than my right. And the left represents feminine energy, the left side body. And this is all about relaxing and receiving. Some of us may use one or more than the other if we're dominant and masculine or dominant and feminine. Stretching both sides of the body to balance. Release. Breathing deep here. On an inhale, coming up. And you'll move now into one of my favorite poses, which is fire log. So this is, you'll take the right leg on top, and you can stay in easy pose because you'll get the same stretch, or you can have the shins parallel, but make sure if you're doing full fire log to flex the feet. You can also put a block right here if that's too much, or a blanket, and Again, we'll do a deep hip stretch, inhaling the arms come up, and the exhale, fold. This might be good for you, or you can fold and rest your forehead on the block. Take a few deep breaths, keeping those feet flexed to protect the knee joint. Wringing out, honoring and grieving any of those stuck emotions and fear, suffering, any gripping. When we hold on to things, we grip on for dear life, and it goes into our hips and gets stored, creates a lot of tension in the body. Just honoring how you're feeling right now. Inhaling, coming up to back to seated, and we'll switch legs. So putting the left leg on top, stretching out the left hip. Again, you can do easy pose, any modification you'd like. We'll do the same thing, inhaling, arms come up, and exhale, forward fold. Recalling the Ujjayi breathing. Inhaling, coming back up to seated. Moving into seated twist. So we're going to pop that left leg up and plant it on the ground, and the right heel can come to the buttocks. And inhaling, arms come up. And you can just grab onto your knee, or you can take a twist here with your elbow. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, twisting. And if you can look behind you, over your left shoulder. Inhaling, coming back to center. We'll switch sides, so right leg comes up and over. Inhale the arms. Exhale, twist. Inhaling up, and on the exhale, twisting more. You don't want pain here. Feel free to put the neck in the back, twisting the neck back if it's comfortable to you. Breathing deep, wringing out any last stuck energy. And exhale, come back to center. Feet come together, moving into butterfly, and butterfly can be here, it can be out here, whatever feels comfortable to you. And then inhale, arms, and then exhale, you might want your block, any amount, hinging at the hips and folding down. Keeping a straight spine if you can, so if it's up here, that's great. Stretching the inner thigh area. Inhaling, coming up. And you'll take your feet and roll all the way back. I'm going to switch the sides here. Rolling back. Ooh, and you may need to scooch up on your mat so your head comes back down, and moving into happy baby. Now, I have a hard time staying stagnant and happy, baby, but I urge you to at least maybe take a breath still here and then moving into some movement, rocking your baby, doing what you feel called to do here. You can bring the legs in, you can take the legs out, just honoring your body. When you're ready, exhaling the feet, the legs to the corners of the mat. Hands come to the side with palms up. Moving into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Breathing deep here. This is the final release. The fourth step, stepping into the unknown. There's nothing to do here. It's just to breathe, relax, surrender into this moment. You can focus on your breathing. If you get stuck on any one thought or emotion, come back to the breath. Beginning to deepening your breath. Moving the fingers and the toes. Rolling to your favorite side. This position is when we're in the womb. We consider it now for this practice of a rebirth or being reborn. When you're ready, sitting up, coming back to seated, opening the eyes, stepping into the unknown. Thank you for taking the time to practice today. The light and love within me humbly bows and honors the light and love within you. Namaste.